the video starts, make sure you follow our socials in the description and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Welcome back to the Offbeat Podcast, back again this week. I am on a poverty stand, one of the mic stands is broken, as I was setting up, which is always fun. I am joined by Tuesday Night Whites. How are we, boys?
Yeah, I'm
good,
really
really good.
Right.
And we've got all 5 lads here today, so 2 are going to be swapping in, so don't worry, we're not having like a clothes change or anything like that. You will be seeing new people in part 2. But
Better looking anyway.
referee. Where's his hat? But you come over from the lovely sites of Preston in Lancashire, the heart of Lancashire, really, isn't
Yes.
it? Proper northern, isn't it, Preston?
Heart of Lancashire.
Terrible football, but
I mean, with a name like Tuesday Night Whites, I'm going to presume here you are all fans of Preston. I'm not wild for saying that.
Yeah, no, bang on, spot on. Yeah. So the name came about from other than Nave.
Yeah.
No, we got an imposter.
you have to have one person.
Yeah, of course you do.
But no, yeah, the name came about, and it was sort of like we started, didn't we? Just us 2.
Yeah.
And it was sort of a common interest that we all had. Seedy had and Boatsy as well. So it's something that we can all relate to, and obviously Tuesday Night Whites, it's about going to an away game on a Tuesday night when you're going in like a little Volkswagen Polo and you got 5 year with beers and stuff like that. And it's just like the memories and stuff like that that you create from going. So it was just something we all related to, and it's something a bit different. Do you know what I mean? So it makes us sort of stand out, hopefully. But yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to brand. Are you, because branding's quite hard, isn't it? So when you're thinking of a band name, have you got like a brand in mind? Because with Tuesday Night Whites, you can easily rebrand it to TNW, can't you? And
that was
quite easy to do,
I
isn't
think
it?
that was when I first sort of when we were discussing it, it was like I loved the idea of having like the TNW, do you know, like a version, like a logo version, and obviously the full name Tuesday Night Whites as well. So I mean, we've got like bucket hats and t-shirts and stuff with the TNW. Drumskin, with TNW.
Nice.
So
It's a full sort of setup.
Yeah.
It's hard that, isn't it, now? Because you shouldn't really. At the end of the day, you're not into music to brand yourself, but you've got to, aren't you? Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
100%. It's like 90% of the game now, isn't it? Like social medias and TikToks and stuff like that. But it's a blessing and a curse, because I mean, it's nice to get your name out there, and it's a chance of exposure that it might have been tougher to get if you were just sort of doing it without all that. But then.
We had some terrible names at first when you sort of trying to go through names.
Oh, here we go. We need to know. So you can't say something like that and not say it.
It was stuff like we were looking at like road names, like we wanted
South
something.
Drive, do you remember that
one?
South Drive.
Yeah.
Even I didn't know that. Sounds like a 90s pop band, that.
So yeah, those
good afternoon, we are South Drive. Not a new single.
No, yeah, there was some horrendous shouts, but we wanted something like. We're all from Preston, we all live in the same area, we're all, like, me, Boatsy and Ollie went to the same high school, sort of grown up together, so we wanted something that we can relate to, but also relates to, like, where we're from. So without saying the words Preston or being obvious, sort of something that ties into Preston, so that's where it's come from.
Nice. So how did the bands come together then? So we started with you 2, and then it was just like an actual, did you like hold auditions for people? How have you sort of found each other?
No, it was, so we started doing acoustics, and it was from lockdown, and we couldn't do anything from lockdown. He lived like 5 doors down, and we were just bored, so it was like Friday night, Saturday night, whatever, come round, play a few tunes, have a few beers kind of things, when you had that all to do with the bubble and all that. Ollie was in my bubble. So that's how it started, and then it was just by chance at Crafty's, the local micro pub near us. Someone dropped out. They do live music. Well, it used to be every Sunday, now it's like every other Sunday or every 3 weeks. And someone dropped out like during the week, and Philly just said, like, do you fancy doing it? And because we'd just been like jamming stuff, we had no equipment, we had to borrow stuff, and like literally had guitar, printing out sort of like sheets, fit chords and everything like that, and just sort of fudged it really, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, you look at those like gigs now, it's hilarious. Like I'm like stiff as anything, rocking back and forward. We've both got like microphones, not mic stands, like what they call.
The music stands.
Music stands, that's well, with like sheets of paper like that thick with every word on it. So I'm sort of stood there reading words like that, trying to like not get anything wrong. He's there on the chords like that. It's like so stiff. But I think like literally from that very first one, it was just like, it was class. Loved it. Just loved like people came down, our mates, they're all having a few beers and that. It was just mega.
And then everyone's like, when's the next one? And so it just kind of went from there. And then we'd never wrote sort of our own music before, so we'd never been taught how to write a song or anything like that. So we just give it a bash. And the first one that we did write was an acoustic, like a bit of a slower acoustic. But then we started writing stuff for a full band. I downloaded like Logic on my computer, and I just instantly fell in love with it. Like on a Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. A couple of beers, sounds a bit sad, but a couple of beers in my bedroom, just on my guitar, like writing a song. So we kind of fell in love like with the process and that. And obviously because we were like writing full band songs, it was like, oh, let's sort of reach out. So we knew Harrison from high school, played in the like the school sort of
School band,
productions and stuff like that with Harrison. So
you're a school band.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So like all like the like, they did like a show at end every year. So there was like Grease, there was like School of Rock, there was like.
We had a proper band that in our school. It was just a case of you press play on the track and you play.
Yeah, the drum machine.
Well, I mean, he was on the drums, so I don't have a proper band. But,
he's on part 2. He's going to absolutely nail you here.
That was my pride.
it's gone downhill since then.
So we knew Harrison through that. So we literally just dropped him a message, just said, "Do you fancy this?" And then came down. It was us three just going through like a couple of covers, a couple of tunes and stuff. And then first couple of gigs, we just sort of had like random people that we knew. So there was Jake, who's in House of Wolves, and there was also Kellett worked there on lead guitar.
Yeah.
So we did a couple of gigs with them, but then it wasn't sort of like a long-term thing with them guys.
It was a short-term game for the gig.
Yeah, exactly. So and hats off to them, like they helped us out massively, didn't they?
Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't have started without them jumping in and doing it.
Yeah.
I think for them it was more. I think, like I said, we sort of fell in love with it. We sort of knew like this could be like something serious here. Whereas I think they were more like, oh, it'd be cool to turn up and do a gig. Like, not sure about sort of a long term.
But to be fair, Jake was also in another band. So
we did steal him from another band.
so then from there, new CD through like North End, going on North End. So just is there any chance CD can play guitar? So I was like, is there any chance you fancy doing bass, picking up a bass? And he was like, yeah, all over it. And then CD went to Leeds Fest and drafted in Nath.
Nice,
pretty much.
It's from a Leeds Fest.
Yeah, literally. So we went down. I think there's about 25 of us went in the end. Massive set up camp.
Or was it a case of like 3 friendship groups sort of?
It was pretty much.
Yeah, we did that one. We went
3 massive friendship groups. So I've never met him in my life. Comes and sits next to me, and I'm not being funny. I mean, me and him in a room talk like ridiculously anyway. But it was just the entire festival, just me and him sat next to each other, all going to gigs, just going at it. And then he obviously mentioned that he started a band, and obviously I mentioned that I play like guitar and stuff like that, and he was like, oh, well, we're looking for a lead guitarist, do you fancy coming down? And I was like, yeah.
So Nave came down to first rehearsal, and I was like, right, after talking through the tunes and stuff like that, literally like halfway through playing the song, first time he'd already got it, I was like, wow.
You're better than me.
Yeah.
I love that though, because you just know instantly, don't you? You know in one song if it's going to work or not. So
Exactly.
I sat there with my kid, I was like, shit, he's better than me.
Can you sing as well?
Funnily enough.
Let's take everyone out.
One man band.
You are a bit of a wizard, aren't you? Like,
Yeah, I do all right.
I like that though, 'cause it sounds like it's just come natural, and you all get on, which is the most important thing in the band.
Yeah.
Because you're going to spend a lot of nights on the road, and it's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of grumpy, long nights where you're going to be like, I don't want to speak to anybody, so you need to get on.
Yeah, no, exactly. We've had sort of like first couple of tastes of that with Edinburgh the other week, and then Derby last week, and then
It just felt like going like an away game or something. It was just a proper laugh. And you realise you're actually doing like, you turn up to play music, your tunes. It's like, this is sick, this, isn't it? So yeah, we've enjoyed it.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about your singles. So you've currently got 3 singles out. You've got 1 penned out to come soon. I like your social pushes. You're very good at social media. I don't know who runs the socials. Is it a group effort or?
it's sort of like a combined thing. So I do mostly like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
And then these guys do a lot on TikToks. I don't really know about TikTok, but
Your TikTok's doing really well. You got like what, 2.5k, 3k followers at the moment.
Yeah, it's been climbing in the last few weeks. To be fair, I've had a couple of good videos.
That's how I first found you.
Is
TikTok?
it?
Interesting, yeah.
Was it?
Oh, do you know what? I remember that actually. I think you commented on one of the things.
I
didn't you?
commented
Yeah,
on one of your. This was age. This was before even message come on the podcast. This was before you first released your single.
Yeah, I think
Because
it would have been.
I saw you doing a cover. I can't remember what song it was.
Is it Glasgow?
I think it
Sluts.
was. Yeah, and then I went onto Instagram and I was like, oh, these might be all right. Let's just follow them and see what happens.
Yeah.
So it's weird how TikTok works like that.
I think that is what we were saying before. It's like it's so much effort to do it, and it
It's
is. And
so
you don't want to
so
do it.
much time,
No one
innit?
joins a band to be like, I want to be an influencer, and like, you know what I mean. But like, do you know what I mean? But like, you do end up like getting reach out of it. And we've played gigs before, and you'll go out and speak to people like, oh, like thanks for coming, and you know, how'd you hear about us? Oh, you seen your video on TikTok, and it's like,
it's mad.
So at that point, you're like, fucking hell, I really should start putting more time into it and trying to make
It's
the most out of it.
frustrating though, isn't it? Because you see some and you're like, get like 300-400 views or anything, but you don't know that 300 views could be 300 new people.
Yeah,
you
exactly
don't know, do you? It's like a risk.
Yeah.
Like I should be, because the TikTok clips I do actually do really well. But it just takes so long to make.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you're in the moment, you're like, I can't be arsed. 'Cause I'm not a big social media guy. I don't really tweet. Like, I should be more on social, but I don't like it.
You feel like you have to be though, don't
I
you?
know,
There's
you
no,
do
there's
feel
no
like you
like
have to be.
sort of ducking it. You really have to be active, and people have to keep seeing your name and be like, oh, that's them, isn't it? Like, but yeah, no, it is what it is. But I also find that the ones you put loads of time into and you try and
They
make
do
them
shy,
look
don't
pretty,
they? Yeah,
you
he's
nothing out of
So
it.
true.
And then you'll get
My biggest clip on TikTok, so we did a clip, it was with El Burrito Monster. I know it was with Fat Sam Eats, and he basically went down and told like his top 3 places in Manchester. Did like 250k views. I'm not even fucking in it. You know what I mean? I'm not even in the clip, and it's absolutely so. It was like by Kevin De Bruyne on TikTok. Definitely just Kevin De Bruyne's admin who didn't see it. I thought it was Kevin De Bruyne who'd seen it. And I literally saw a notification that he liked the video, and I went, I'm not even in it. I'm like, why am I not in that? Out of all the clips, I'm in every single clip apart from that one, and that's the one that's done well.
Unreal.
Can
I'm going to have to go back there. This is completely off topic. Do you know El Burrito Monster?
Yeah, I've had him on here twice.
Have you seen him?
No.
Yeah, Ollie. So he lives in I'm going to say Stockport because I don't want to be too specific, but yeah.
Give me his address.
I
messaged
Ollie. So I had Ollie on when I had like 150, 200 subscribers. Just messaged him on Instagram, and he was like, "Yeah, that sounds all right." Came down, such a good bloke.
Yeah.
And then I had him on twice because he wanted to meet Fat Sam Eats.
He just like his cooking videos, but it's like the maddest combinations of food.
Yeah.
And you look and you just think, I would die to have a taste of that. Right?
Yeah,
and
he's
just insane. Oh, don't.
He actually did. Yeah, he brought some of his stuff. So basically, all the stuff that he makes, his street, he just gives it out to his neighbours, and he had too much of it. When he did one of his desserts, it was like, it was like a brownie sort of mixed in like a Scotch egg. But the Scotch egg was in the middle.
No, it's
not a Scotch egg. It was like a Scotch egg style, but it was
sounds
dessert.
mental, but it's class.
It's odd. Yeah, no.
That's fried my head, that.
It was absolutely banging. It was so good. But yeah, I've had El Burrito on here twice.
Wow.
He's a top lad, really good.
So it's not just burritos then?
No. He makes
does
everything into a burrito.
basically. Or beef Wellington. He likes Wellington.
Right, hang on. So he's done
Oh my
a
God,
brownie in a Scotch egg and turned it into a burrito. Is that what you're saying to me?
Oh no, he did that as a Scotch egg. That was slightly different. So, like, for example, he'll make like a tandoori chicken curry, and he'll wrap it in a burrito, and then he'll put that burrito into a Wellington format.
Yeah.
So then you cut into it in a cross section's mega.
That's mental.
But he
class.
just does like platters, and it's all like tandoori. It's just stuff you'd never
He's
be able to
he's
make
got
yourself.
he's got millions of followers now.
Yeah.
So when I first had him on here, he only had
across
like 200, 300k, and now he's got millions.
I must have come across
He
it.
is one of the smartest guys I've ever met.
Yeah, he comes across
So
like that.
smart.
Yeah.
He's a mathematician. He did maths at uni.
Right.
So he was telling me that sounds like mad. So he follows his analytics to the bone, really.
Yeah.
Full on goes into it, and now he's formed a formula and he sticks to it.
That's class, that. Oh, this whole way on after you show you the videos.
Yeah.
Honestly. it's
Another
unreal.
cool story. So I was doing TikToks for ages, just doing clips from the podcast. Never got over 800 views, 900 views. I asked him, I said, look, from this podcast episode, what would you do to put a clip in? He went, right, I'll clip it from here to here, stop here, and put it all together. Did that. He said, put subtitles on it, got 10k views.
Wow.
And I was like, you just done that off a case of what, like 5 minutes of thinking, and I've been trying for like a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are just fair enough. And he didn't have to do that. He's just a good
Yeah.
man.
No, that's sick. That. No, I love it. Absolutely.
I
love
want to do a food fest. There's a few things I want to do with this podcast in the future. I want to host a gig.
Class.
I want to book the bands for the gig. Don't worry, you're on there.
Yes.
I want to do a charity football day because I've interviewed a few footballers as well. And I want to do a food festival because food festivals are so cool, aren't they? We're all in. Yeah, that is in the future. Hopefully we get to one day, but there's all sorts. But anyway, back to the band. So, I wanted to talk about your singles. So you started off with Renegade, didn't you? Yeah. And then you moved on to 23.
Lost Control was next.
Yeah, but 23 is the one that's sort of got the most traction that I've seen on
Yeah,
TikTok.
definitely.
It's done really well on TikTok.
Definitely. Yeah.
Did you write that hook in mind? Because it's all about the hook in it rather than the chorus with the song, which I find a little bit crazy because usually it's a chorus, which is the most streamed bit, but it's your hook.
Yeah.
When you were writing that song, did you think this hook is special here? We got to use this in every go.
The first batch of lyrics, 23, wasn't where it is. It was
I
like
think
mid-verse.
I think when the lyrics when I first wrote the first draft of lyrics, the only thing I really had was that sort of quick bit, the da-na-da-na. So I really wanted to keep that in just because, like you said, it's quite a repetitive, easy to chant, get along with. But yeah, the pre was a lot longer. So I think we cut like 2 or 3 lines out of it. And then we really wanted to keep the 23 in. Because I don't even know how that came in. I genuinely don't know what was going on in my head to get the 23 bus into those lyrics. But it somehow worked. So we cut like half the pre-chorus out, squished it together, kept the 23 line, and then it was like, oh, this is banging.
It works,
It's really cool.
And it definitely does work, especially on your socials as well, because it's been pushed quite a lot, and you're seeing it on TikTok, especially. Like, people are loving it. Is that? Do you think that's sort of naturally evolved into like a closing song for you, or when you were writing it, were you like, this is going to be an opener, this is going to be a closer? How were you thinking when writing it?
I think I'm pleasantly surprised with how well it's done. I'll be honest with you. So when we first wrote it, it was one of them that we knew it was catchy, we knew it was upbeat, and it was more sort of our sound, the direction that we wanted to go down with our music kind of thing. But we've always, like, closing song's always been Today, which we've not released yet, but that's because, again, it's dead catchy.
It's like got an anthemic sound.
Whatever
the word is. Something like that.
So we off the back of Today, we go into like a big like closing sort of like instrumental kind of thing. So we've always kind of kept Today the last in the set. But yeah, like as far as 23 goes, like the hook and everything like that, it was sort of like mid-verse, and then we was like, right, we wanted to sort of, in the pre, we wanted to sort of drop it just before the chorus came in. And we knew that's where, sort of like, whatever the song was going to be about, that's where sort of like the catchy bit should be. So we like reshuffled the song, like had a look at the lyrics, sort of like tweaked the instrumental and stuff, and then just sort of like made it work from there. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely buzzing with how it's gone. And it's relatable as well for us, isn't it? We get a lot of people like coming up to us saying like, oh, I used to get the 23 bus to college, I used to get like shop in town and stuff like that. So
well, that's the hilarious thing I think out of that. It's like we did a podcast with a guy from London. And we had the same conversation, we were talking about it, and he was asking about the song, and I'm like, I'm telling someone who lives in London about 23 buses. I have gone my whole life to go wherever. And we ended up on a talk about bus routes, and I was like, what is happening here? What is going on here?
People love relatability though.
Exactly.
That's it.
If you look at a lot of the biggest songs around, so Cortinas for example, there's so many Manchester references in there. So I love Cortinas and I love their early stuff. If you listen to St Jude, I can tell you practically everything that it relates to. Like talking about Star and Garter. I know the Star and Garter pub. There's about fucking 9 in Manchester, to be fair. But I know the one they're talking about right outside Piccadilly. I know about Fallowfield. I know what Fallowfield Hillbilly means. Do you know, like, certain things like that? People relate to it. And you find you get, like, a core audience with Preston. Are you looking to branch out from Preston now? Are you looking to move out across the UK?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. That is this year for us is what the biggest push is. We've done like a couple of years where we've done so well in like the Northwest. Sold a couple of shows out in like Manchester and stuff, which you never thought you'd do at the start.
It's weird, isn't it?
Absolutely. Seeing that soul, that it's just like, what? Like, you know, but so it's been absolutely amazing. But we always said like to try and branch out, even just to like network and meet people and just talk to people, talk to fans whoever you're supporting and stuff like that. Make sure you show your face and, you know, have a chat with them. It's like, that was the big plan for this year. So I mean, we've already got out to Edinburgh, which was incredible. We've done Derby, we've got Sheffield coming up in a couple of weeks.
Again, it's just like getting out the Northwest. Do you know what I mean? We've never been to Sheffield for the footy to watch North End, but other than that, we've not really been there. Derby's the same. I went into Derby, went to the ground, and came out of Derby, but we went to the venue, go and see new cities and stuff, and we're just like five mates from Preston. It's honestly, it's
Try and
class.
rate some Guinness while we're out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bottles of wine for the van home.
No, not again. Not again.
So how are you planning on doing that then? So when summer comes, are you going to be pushing? Because I'm assuming you're going to be releasing a single in and around sort of summertime.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is that the plan? Sort of release that, go all in, and then see where it comes.
Heavy on TikTok and socials again with all the promo things, side of things as well.
I think like the difference between the first two releases in Renegade and Lost Control, obviously your first one's just exciting, you just get a tune out, and I think it's naturally going to do quite well with your sort of fan base, if you will, and obviously your friends and family and stuff.
I mean, he's got 30k streams.
Yeah.
How big's your fucking family, lad?
No, so then I think Lost Control, again, we were just excited to get another song out to make sure it was 2 on the roster. But then I think with 23, we really realised how much work, and again, going back to how much the TikToks and stuff like that, and we put so much time into that build-up of the release. We were out every weekend, midweeks, just stood there with guitars. Well, not me personally, but you with the guitars. We took drums with us just to record videos on top of the bus station and stuff like that, just miming, just to get all this content. So we really put a lot into it, and it was if we didn't get anything out of that, it would have been a bit shit. But then you look now, and it's almost caught up streams with the other two, and it's wow. So it just shows to put the work into it. So like you say, if we are going to have a summer release, it's make sure we've worked really, really hard in the build up to it. Smash it on TikTok, Instagram, and all the reels and stuff like that to try and make sure it try and gets as big a reach as possible.
It's hard with Spotify streams, isn't it? Because you kind of have to go into playlists, you've got to do this, you've got to do that.
Yes.
There's no method to sort of grow, is there? You've got to just sort of trial and error it.
Yeah.
Is that sort of how have the Spotify streams sort of pushed up then?
It's again looking into all the data and analytics and numbers and stuff, but I think a big one for this time was the pre-saving stuff. So when we're doing the TikTok and doing all the videos that are doing well, having sort of the link to pre-save, and then obviously pre-save automatically puts it into someone's playlist. I was going to say set list then, playlist, and then obviously when we've seen where the sort of streams are coming from, I think it's 64% are from listeners' own playlists. So it's just just come on. So I think for this time especially, Renegade was our first ever release. We didn't really know what we was doing. So but 23 we put, like you said, so much time and effort into it. But I think the pre-saving thing and it coming on in just people's own playlists is massively helped 23 push the numbers up, definitely.
I think you've got to batter people with that hook, like you said as well. Just keep battering, because the amount of songs that I'll listen to, and I scroll on TikTok quite a bit. Probably shouldn't do, but I'll find myself singing along to this tune. I'm what even is this song? And and I find it on TikTok. I'm oh my god, that's it. So I'll give it a listen.
So many songs that I know.
Next thing it's in my playlist, M60 songs. I'm 3 of them in my playlist just because they just batter it on TikTok. And it's just wow, it shows how much it sticks in your head without you even knowing it. So it's quite interesting, that side of it, and it's have to keep battering people.
With the videos that we did as well, the way we cut the actual song, we dropped it just before the chorus, didn't we? So then everyone's you want to hear the chorus, so then as soon as it comes out, obviously then you're getting people listening straight away. So but I think that pre-save link and having it on
that is a crucial sort of moment there.
Definitely.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your gigs as well. So for people who might not be totally aware of yourself, so you've just released your biggest ever headline show in Preston, haven't you? 200 cap venue.
210,
yeah.
Get a 10 in, come
on. Do you wish you would have gone for a slightly bigger venue now?
I don't think
so. For people who don't know,
genuinely
sold out quite quickly.
Maybe 2 nights.
Quite quickly, I remember seeing your first post about it, and then the next day you posted being 60% have gone, and I was
I think it sold out in 3 days, didn't it? Sold it.
No, it definitely sold out in 3 days. Come on.
It's one I don't think we could have done a better venue for what we're trying to do. I mean, we headlined it last year, and obviously it was class. And I think it's one of them where you want to do a headline show at home, you're going to do it in the place where you did it the best last time.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't actually know if there is a bigger venue in Preston.
There's that as well.
Is there not? Right. So is that sort of?
Was talking about this.
There used to be there's some class. I mean, Guildhall's like off the chart. Like Michael Jackson's used to play there, but that's closed down. You had like 53 Degrees again, Cortinas and Spiral Carpets ads in there, closed down. So it's like you've got the Conti and the Ferret really, which is your only two. I mean, no, obviously there's loads of other little places to play, pubs and stuff like that, but in terms of like venues, I guess.
Yeah.
So where do you boys go to gigs then? Because you're sort of in the middle of a lot of places. You can go to Liverpool, as we were saying. You can go to Newcastle, it's not too far.
Yeah.
Where do you boys go for your gigs then?
Manchester most of the time.
Really.
Manchester,
Yeah,
Manchester, Liverpool, Blackpool when they're on. But yeah, mainly Manchester.
Yeah.
When like bands are releasing dates and stuff, the first one we always look for is Manchester date.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just Manchester's just the place to be in it for like music venues and stuff, and they're all quality, and it's so easy to get to for us as well. So Manchester.
I think I take it for granted a little bit being so close to Manchester and so on.
Yeah.
I'm a 40, even out here, I'm kind of out in the sticks here. I'm a 40-minute train away.
Yeah.
And the last train's at 11, so I'll always
Exactly,
make
we're the
it.
same, aren't we?
Yeah, it's about 40-45 minute train.
And it's even if you want to stay later, it's like an Uber between 6 years. It's like 60 quid. It's like a tenner each.
Exactly.
Do you know what I
Can't
mean?
complain
So-
as well. Where's your big venues then? Because obviously you're going to be wanting to play some venues in Manchester, aren't you?
Definitely.
What is like the best venue in your opinion in Manchester then?
Just in general.
I'm talking like if I gave you your favourite band, I'm not talking about we have to play at the biggest venue. What is your favourite venue for them to see them at?
We'll do a bit of the thing. My favourite in terms of aesthetics, the location, everything. I absolutely love the Albert Hall. I think it is gorgeous.
Okay.
I've seen some unreal bands there.
Have you done Bongo's Bingo there?
Yeah.
It's so good, isn't it? It's so good, yeah.
Get me on that table. I have. But no, it's just class, and I always relate venues back to like memories as well.
Agreed.
I guess that's fair enough saying it, but I remember there was a Cortinas gig, and it was one of those where it was like if you buy the album, you got put into like a draw to get a ticket. So I got a ticket, and I remember being right at the top. And usually I'd be in the mixer, but I thought I'm just gonna go right to the top. Stood there and just watched it
better
like
at the top, innit?
And I was just like Liam just down the front, and oh my god, it was unbelievable. So I mean, I've been to loads of gigs at the Albert Hall, but that's one that sticks out. And then in terms of like a massive venue, I've been to Co-op once, and it was great. It was very, very good.
Yeah, came in the streets.
Yeah.
So good,
Wow.
wasn't it? Unbelievable. Oh, I nearly pissed myself when the streets are on there. Like, we're really near the pitch. And Skinner's coming out in the crowd. I'm like, oh, I really know it.
We saw Sam Fender as well, did we?
See, I've never seen Sam. Sam Fender's one of the artists I've never got into.
Really?
I think the problem with Sam Fender
Really?
Don't.
So the problem I've got with Sam Fender, I think I was too late to the hype, and because I was so late, I'm a bit like, not that arse now. But I know all his big songs, but I've never listened to a Sam Fender album.
Oh, he's so
From start to finish.
Yeah.
I genuinely think if you do, you might have a different.
Yeah. It's just. There's so many bands I listen to now. I'm a bit like, I ain't got a fucking time for another one. This is a problem I've got.
Yeah.
Mrs. already hates me for how many gigs I go to. I can't someone else in it. Like, we're not having anyone else. And then what's your favourite venue in Manchester then?
Ritz
Nice.
for me.
It's a history one.
Yeah, I went to see Lilacs there the other month probably now, and just like being there, and again it's one of them that I was in the middle in the mix, I weren't right at the back, but you're just in and you're just looking round and it's just like, oh my god. But just to get that, like, funnily enough, my mum knows the front man's mum, like, briefly.
Oh, nice.
And she was on the merch stall, so I went over and I was like, you must be so proud and get a massive bum. Obviously, it's like seeing your kid like on the stage and just the buzz and the feeling. When they came out, they're running out, they're full of energy and stuff like that. And I'm just like, the buzz they must have walking out to a venue like this,
crazy,
sold out. I'm like, oh my god, if I could have one chance of doing that, I'd die happy. Unbelievable.
The Ritz is a special venue.
Yeah.
I like the Ritz for me. The only downside of it is the location. It's a little bit out of the way. Like Albert Hall, I think is perfect.
Yeah. It's handy for Oxford Road.
Yeah,
So
it's handy
road,
for Oxford Road, but if you're the other side, if you've got like a lot of people got to get to Victoria,
you've
got to get to Victoria, you're fucked.
It's a pace, isn't it?
Yeah, you're a little bit knackered from there.
Yeah.
And then
Well, mine would be Victoria Warehouse.
That's
Vicky Warehouse,
we're going out a little bit, aren't we?
we are out of the way now.
I've been there. Well, I've been there loads to watch loads of different stuff, but the one that sticks out for me was Nothing But Thieves. I went to go and watch them in there, and it was just unbelievable. The sound was class. The room, obviously, it's massive. It's just full of people. Obviously, it's all standing, so you just basically the entire room is just one big wave of people.
You feel like you're in a different kind of like.
It's just a different world. For me, that's like. If we played there at some point,
that's a great show. You know, I think that'd be my close number
10.
two, actually.
Yeah, 10 out of 10
I'm the
for
wrong
effort.
side of Manchester for Victoria Wales. That's
Yeah.
I love the venue for sound. I love the venue for the feel of it when you're in there. It's not too cramped, but it's tight enough. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for me, I've got to get a tram back into town, and then I've got to make the last trip. I always have to miss the last song in order to get home, which is bad. Yeah. But I saw. Blossom's show. Do you know when they did the 5 nights?
Yeah.
So I went Blossom there because I love the K's, so I went to that gig because the K's are there. I stayed at my mate's house. He lives in Didsbury now. And I was like, oh, this is fucking... I understand why people love it now, because Didsbury to 5, it was 10 minutes to get back home. I was just slightly out of the way, but I do love the venue.
Oh,
Yeah.
We saw the K's at Mickey Warehouse, didn't we? I think.
No,
Yeah,
was
but
it?
Was that the wrong venue?
No,
That was the wrong-
you tell
my
that story.
days.
Oh
was
my
that,
God,
was
tell that
that Academy
story.
1 gig?
Oh my word! So basically, the K's are
You're not so to wrong
the
gig.
K's. The K's had announced that they were playing Vicky
Chief
Warehouse.
organiser.
Right. So I'd volunteered to drive, which is absolutely unheard of. I would never do that. I love a pint and I'm not driving. But for some reason, I was like, you know what? I'll bite the bullet. I'll be the driver. I'll take us, right? So we had the K's tickets. We was buzzing. Loved the boys. You know what I mean? Drove down, parked up. Dropped all these out of a pub. They're all having a pint. Now I'm there with Diet Coke, trying to give it all, you know, like moral high ground. Right, time to go in, boys. It's like 5 minutes till they're on. Right, let's go over. Got in the queue, queued up, got through, pat down and everything like that. Scanned tickets. I was like, what's going on here? Why is it not working? It's like, what gig are you here for, boys? We're here for K's. He was like, the K's are not playing in here tonight, mate. It was like some 90s disco thing that was on. So it was like, where are they playing? It was like, it might have been at Albert Hall or something like that.
I can't remember.
So it was like, oh my God.
Academy
So
one, I
we
think.
paid,
Was
yeah,
it?
it might have been that, yeah. So we
Academy
paid for
one.
parking and everything. So we had to jump in an Uber, try and razz it down as fast as we could. These are all going absolutely mad at me. I'm like, I probably thought it was Vicky Warehouse.
How have you done that? It's on the ticket.
Yeah, but I stand by that no one else checked either. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but we were on the beers. We were on the beers. That's why.
oh man.
so did you even see any of it? Because we only did an hour and a bit set.
We
Yeah.
literally got in as they were starting.
I think we
Oh,
just made it, but it's the fact that we've been through like you know Vicky Warehouse has got
It's
that like
awful
it's got
on
that
a system.
zigzag queue and everything.
Oh, not
so,
you on
like,
O2, no. Hey, O2, I'm not on
Priority.
O2. My mate's on O2, yeah, the O2 priority queue
Oh,
for
right.
there. You fucking bypass it completely.
Really?
It's so good, you know.
Oh, never knew
It's
that.
so good.
So yeah, no, we didn't have O2. We decided to zigzag for half an hour.
Yeah, it's awful.
Got the pat down, scanned the ticket. Wrong venue. So
Eventful.
that was me never driving again. So that's that's why I don't drive.
Also,
Here we
my
go.
favourite venue is Academy 1 as well.
Is
I
it?
love Academy.
It's got
I've had
its class.
so many great gigs there.
Yeah.
And it's another one where it's tight but not tight enough.
It's quite wide, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's wide and, like,
it's
narrow.
quite wide, and
Yeah.
I don't. It's just good feeling there. I feel like a
Yeah,
band's
yeah.
really made it when they hit that.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the Snuts in there, and I'd only heard of the Snuts by one song. I'd heard of Glasgow before that gig, and they were 20 quid. So me and my mate Jared, who I go to all my gigs with, I went, right, let's just go.
Let's go.
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
shit, we've lost 20 quid. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
And the Snuts came out, and it was I can't remember the bassist's name. Oh, I can't remember the bassist's name out of the band, but he came on fucking shredding, and I went, oh my God, we're here. This is sensational. And then always starting, I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
We
This
saw
is
them
amazing.
at, where did we see them recently?
Vicky Warehouse,
Warehouse,
sold out, didn't it? That was the same night of another big gig that I went to. That same night as Roselle was playing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they were playing at Academy 2 that night, so I didn't go to the Snuts, but
Yeah. No,
Ooh,
it
they're
was
a proper
they did
band.
like a
Yeah.
26 song set list or something like that.
It's
Something
massive.
ridiculous.
They properly like put production time in as well.
Yeah,
don't
it's
they?
yeah,
It's
it's
like
just
crazy.
one of my favourite bands at the moment, definitely. I've been into them for years. Absolutely love the Snuts. And it was Glasgow as well that got me into the Snuts. That was the sort of leading in, but I like the early stuff like Manhattan Projects and stuff like that. When like I'm bad for going on like YouTube and watching like full live sets.
oh mate,
Yeah,
100%,
all the time.
100%.
Having a beer on a Friday night, getting a curry and I'm cracking a beer and watching a full set, like it's class. But yeah, I think it was their Transmit set from 2019.
Yeah.
And just like their opening.
But I know exactly the same as well.
So I think I can't remember what it started with, but then went into like Manhattan Project and just linked the two songs together, and I was like, oh my god, that's unbelievable. So yeah, Snuts up there for me, definitely.
100%. We're going to come back in part 2. So part 2 is a little bit more of a, we'll have a chat and see. I want to talk more about sort of like favourite bands and stuff, because I've got a feeling one of you must be into a genre based on the music I've listened to, and I want to know more about it, right?
Okay.
So we'll see you back in part 2.
Why is hair really nice? And then as soon as you cut it off, it's
They're trying to get started.
Right.
Keep my face in your head, just thinking.
Oh, it'll be the first time today.
Welcome to part 2. I'm so happy. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it to come back in. Fantastic. Part 2.
Everyone signed an NDA immediately.
And we have had 2 sub-ins here. And this could be a very fun part. I've got a feeling. Bearing
It's
in
off the
mind,
rails already.
we've tried to start it 5 times. We've not been able to. It's getting good. We're loving it. So do you want to introduce both of you and your sort of roles in the band then?
You go, you start.
I'm CD, I'm the bassist, and I talk too much.
Which is interesting about a bassist, by the way, because a lot of the time the bassists are very much the quiet, reserved member of the band, which is fun, and I like. No, I like.
You can't see their looks off camera, but I mean, yeah. No,
You sunk into your chairs.
Like we normally when we're on stage we'll have like 4 mics, like obviously lead vocals and backing vocals and stuff, and it tends to be like at one gig my mic was actually switched off.
Respect.
So
Who did that?
Yeah, just like Pommy or Ollie silently like. So yeah.
Must have been a good sound check, that, mustn't it?
Yeah. I'm there going 1, 2. He's like, 1.
Just picking up your mic.
Yeah.
And yourself?
I am Bootsy, I'm the drummer. I'm the youngest of the band, so I'm usually just the one that gets loads of shit all the time.
Yeah.
First
Please help.
I love drummers as well, because I always feel like I can judge a band based off the drummer. I'm like, when I go, because I go to so many gigs now, I like to look at certain elements of bands, and drummer is the one. Just because there's so many different types of drumming, and you've got the mad drummers, which everyone sort of raves about. But I like the quiet, reserved drummers who are just sort of like going about the business. They're not arsed, sunglasses on. They're not arsed. So what sort of drummer are you then?
Your limbs don't reflect your face, do they?
Yeah, Ollie. Well, a lot of the gigs we play, you can't see me because I'm just sat at the back, minding my own business.
Despite being the tallest one.
Fly like Harry Judd, get him in the middle of the stage.
I know.
Raised platforming.
Everyone keeps saying I need to get on a raised platform a bit and get myself out there.
Who's everyone?
My dad and mum. But I think my main thing at the moment is I had quite a bit of a gap. I stopped playing drums for a couple of years, and then obviously when Pom rang me up and said, "You fancy coming to play?" I had to kind of get back into it a bit. Obviously made a joke before about it being my prime when I was playing at 14, but I was playing regularly then. I had a bit of a time out, so getting back up to speed now and get back to where I was, it's I'm slowly getting there. A bit more confidence in myself as well. I can easily do play all our songs comfortably, but we're trying to get out a bit more and. Pom always shouting at me, you can do it, you're going to spice it up a little bit. I'll happily just sit there and, crack on, do the business, get through it. But, I'm good enough and I can do it to spice it up a little bit. So.
To your credit, though, if you look back at the first gig that we played, so me and Nate joined the band in, the late July or whatever it was, and Boatsy had joined a few months prior, and we played a gig in Stockport. Which is a story in and of itself, but
nice. Where in Stockport did you play?
It was out in the sticks. It was like it was a
cool venue.
It was an XL Bully event.
It's another story. This.
Anyway, no. But point being, if
we're not moving on from that,
if you look back at like the first gigs, so like Preston Live, which was the day that I joined.
I hope it's a joke, and I think it's not going to be.
And then that gig, and this is to your credit. Now I'm not slagging you off. It's just static, like just like quite sort of like robotic. Whereas now it's a lot more comfortable.
I think if I was in a band, the 2 hardest positions for me would be drums and bass, because it's very repetitive. And if you're doing, say, I don't know, like an 18-show tour, that's got to be hard to be a drummer or to be a bass. Because I suppose if you lead guitar or your vocalist, you can mix it up quite easily.
Yeah.
Whereas you can be bass a little bit, but drums, you can't really mix it up.
I think with us as well is we are very fast paced. We don't have any. And obviously, a lot of our we do a lot of sports and stuff this year. So our sets are powerful, quick, big songs. So I'm literally boom, 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 boom after every single bit. Like, I come off dripping. And Derby last week.
So on live stream.
Yeah.
I was like, you're red.
Yeah. But we started doing like drum cam at gigs because obviously people can't come and watch us or like whatever. So we started like live streaming our gigs. And it's on me. And honestly, I just get more and more red as the gigs going on and sweaty, and because they're obviously all quite confined.
Spaces,
It's, I've had blisters and I've had plasters on my fingers and bleeding and everything from playing. Have
you seen Bobby's thumb? He ripped his nail off playing flipping strumming through.
Yeah. But I love it. I wouldn't play any other instrument. Genuinely, I absolutely love it to bits.
I don't think you could.
What you were saying about like the sort of different styles of drumming, I think you probably are more laid back, chill, just cool out, whatever. But then every now and again you'll just it's like filling it out. I turn around like, what's that?
You'll see it on videos. We'll all turn, but like Bolts will be playing like standard whatever, and then like he'll chuck some fill in, and like almost in like unison we'll all turn around and be like, oh, what's just happened there? It's awesome. To your credit, again, because like. Yeah.
And we'll be like learning songs and stuff, and Nathan will go, I'll try this. I'm like, I don't know, and I'll just do it. I'm like, I can do that. You know what I mean? It's just, it's hard. It's difficult with drums because in my head it's like I'm trying to figure out what I could put there, and that's when like Nathan's really, really good in that with his brain and stuff. He goes, I'll just try this, see if this works, and Nathan will kind of play it, and I'll be like, I don't know, and then play it. I'm like, I can do that. And next minute the song's just gone from being so basic to like the next level.
So how? Because obviously you've got the new song coming out, which is unnamed as of yet. We won't get into that. We won't get into that. But when's the estimate? Are we looking at spring or summer?
Well, I guess sort of maybe the back end of spring, start of summertime.
Nice.
It'd be nice to get it out there. And I think, like we were saying before, we want to make sure that I think we collectively feel it's maybe one of the best ones that we've written, or definitely up there in a group of songs that we've written. So I think, again, going back to what we were saying before, we want to make sure we've put the time into it.
Yeah,
make
you
sure
need
it's
to plan
right.
it out.
Make sure the videos are all ready to post, and we've done all the build up to it. So there's no real rush for us. I think we're still kind of reaping the rewards of 23 and the work that we put into that. So there's no mad rush for us to get it out by this date or anything like that. But it would be nice to be out for summer before we start getting out into the sunshine and the gigs and stuff. It's definitely
Well, every song that's being written, they're all every song is better than the last. Like the one that we're working on at the minute, for me personally, is my new favourite. So every one, like 23,
it's just surpassing every expectation.
But it's twofold really. It's we're getting more cohesive as a band, but also as we settle more into our sound, we can experiment a little bit more in that little sort of niche, if you will.
Of course, yeah. And you can try new things. You're braver, aren't you? Because we've got a fallback, safe plan. But if we need to, we can go back to it and it'll sound good. But you can now introduce different elements.
And the promo and stuff as well. Because obviously, like we were saying before, it's Instagram and TikTok. They're the main two. I mean, like Twitter and Facebook obviously is used, but they're sort of a bit more on the periphery. But as especially with TikTok, as you two get more sort of au fait with it, the way to sort of pull people in is becoming clearer, and it's getting that out. And I think 23, we absolutely nailed it. Even down to the fact that 23 was released on the 20th, the fact that people were talking about it, like, why haven't you done 23 on the 23rd? And it's like, it gets people talking about it.
It's just a simple thing to do.
Christmas though,
yeah, there is that, Christmas present.
Or it gets the comments in, and that's
exactly.
It's what you want. And it's like, how's the new how's the new sort of journey happen with this new song then? Is it a case of you two all write the lyrics first and then bring it to the band and let them do their own part? Does Nathan have a big say in sort of playing the lead? How does it sort of work?
I think like even that side of things has developed. Like I said, because when we first started writing tunes, it was me and him. So he'd have his acoustic guitar. I'd try and put some words onto it. We'd bounce ideas off each other. And that still sort of happens, I guess, at the very like sort of forefront. But he's got all his like technology and iMac and all that kind of stuff. I sound like a right old person. Then.
Yeah, you sounded well.
He presses buttons and makes good noises.
iMac.
A mouse.
That is being clipped. Yeah.
Love it. That shows how much I get involved with that side of things, doesn't it? So yeah, we still sort of bounce ideas off, but like you said, now we've got Nath, who's just a bit of a wizard, and he can really hear things and say like, that doesn't quite sound right, let's try it like this. And like I said, with Boatsy and CD as well, it's like they will sort of have their own little twist on things. You know, we might write really, really basic for Boatsy and just like a really simple beat, and like I said, he'll turn around and whack his filling, and it's like, wow, that's really elevated.
Yeah.
And then by contrast, I get told off for putting in too many slides. So
you
like,
do love a
if I put a
slide,
slide in, he'll go, what? Because it's throwing him off. And Pommy will just...
There's a purposeful drop to have a big...
Yeah, I know. It's only in rehearsal, to be fair.
It's the music you like. There's so many sides.
Unless it's... Yeah, this is true. Unless it's like there and it's meant to be there, I won't play it live, but I will just... I'll be honest, it is to wind you up a little bit. When we're in rehearsal, like...
We're playing the game.
Yeah.
It's a long
You've got it, haven't you?
How often do you rehearse then? Do you have a set studio, or do you just sort of go around to each other's gaffs? How does it
We're in his gaff at the minute. We've been, I think it was a temporary move, and we've ended up stuck there for quite a while. So
full time.
So we use Sundays as sort of rehearsal time, and then I guess in the build up to gigs we just see. I mean, Nathan works in hospitality, so we have to try and squeeze that around as well, which is
He does manage the rotas though, so you know we've struck it gold with that really.
I mean, still, it's a rough job. I would never go back there. I've done hospitality, yeah.
I wouldn't. He loves it, doesn't he?
I love it.
So I also wanted. So I referenced it at the end of the pod of like your influences, and just by getting to know you, I can see there's lots of different influences in the band. And for me, the big thing that's coming through from the tunes I've listened to is pop punk. It screams pop punk at me, especially your guitar riffs. And even though this is weird, because I was certain you'd be into pop punk, you know, based on how you sing, I was certain of it, and the fact you aren't baffles me because your voice is perfectly suited to pop punk, and it's like you're doing it naturally.
Right.
Well, it's a running joke. We'll walk in and where are you? Like as you walk into punk, like every time.
But it sounds good. It's a perfect mesh of sort of the noughties sort of pop punk influences and the new sort of modern indie pop sort of tune in there. Which I find fascinating that you're just not into it. So what sort of music do you listen to then?
I'm a sucker, me, right? Because if I find a new band, they'll be my new favourite band, and I will not listen to anyone else.
Yeah.
I am like
Wasting Club after
all
Kendall,
or nothing. I'm literally So if I go to a festival or I see a support act, I'm like, wow. So I'll like, if you say what's your favourite band, it'd be like this band. You ask me a week later, I've not listened to them in like. I wouldn't work out a week. I'm having a good time. Is it lunchtime yet? But yeah, you get what I mean. Like, so I'm obsessed. Like at the minute, like Louis Dunford, I cannot get enough of that guy.
Interesting.
I'm absolutely obsessed with him.
Again, he's meant to be a fucking good sound fella, you know.
Yeah, well,
meant to be a really great guy.
Yeah.
We thought that was Andrew
Well,
Cleveland's
a lot of your artists are like singer-songwriters. You're massive on
Yes.
singer-songwriters.
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
I mean, you have
Your
obviously
name,
Morrison.
love bands.
Yeah.
But you're always like, it's always like saying like you say Andrew Cushing,
Yeah, I mean,
James Morrison. You're talking about all these people.
I wouldn't say I necessarily started my musical life as like a big indie fan or on the bands and stuff. It was only when I started getting into
Musical theatre,
cortinas.
Well, you're theatre though. That's what you're. No, it's not a dig though, is it? It's like that's what your
You're
stage
a
presence comes from.
yeah.
We talk about musical theatre.
Yeah.
I love musical theatre.
Exactly.
He's your man.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, I'm a big advocate of musical theatre, and do you know what I don't like when people always say about musical theatre, right? Is they can't understand why a straight male can't like musical theatre.
Yeah.
What you mean? Why are you listening to that? And I'm like, it's a bit of camp sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not out. I quite like it.
I love the West End, me, but like you have like actual knowledge. You've been in productions.
So
That goes back to that story of where we first met at school, playing in Greece.
Nice, but you
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me you like Danny Zuko? Or are you someone?
It wasn't Danny Zuko.
Oh, sorry.
He's still salty about it.
Shit.
Basically, I am actually still sour about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But no, there was
Were you a T-bird?
there was
or-
no, I wasn't. So
Oh,
basically,
it's not it. I'm sorry. Sorry.
What's the one? What's
I
the?
played a treat. No, so there was a singing part basically. There was like 9 songs, and they didn't want anyone else to sing it, so they had to draft me in to do all the singing. So
You were too good to be Danny Zuko.
Yeah,
I'm liking
too
that,
good.
lads.
Too good. I had to do the what's the opening song, the Frankie Valli one. Grease is the word.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
That was horrendous to try and sing that, but I did all right. I found the DVD the other day, actually. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you
What was
said,
on the chat the other
yeah.
day?
Yeah.
Was it you singing like "Ain't No Mountain High Enough" or something? There was a video that got put in the chat.
It would have been Grease. It would have been.
Oh, was it that?
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't.
It's,
Ain't No Mountain High
I was a fresh year 7 to school, because I'm quite a bit younger than these. So I was just like playing like 2 or 3 songs, and then he was like bouncing around thinking he was top dog. he hadn't even got the main part.
There's not even a name.
Made to be a frontman.
Johnny Casino. That was me, man.
But then obviously that was like the first time we actually genuinely played together as the 3 of us before anything, and then me and Pom played for other stuff throughout school. But that was the officially first time we actually,
Which is mental, isn't it?
we actually played a song as a group.
It's perfect, because you need these. Because when you've got a band and you're all into the same sort of stuff, it gets samey. It's
a bit flat, innit?
You can tell, but to have sort of like musical theatre, bringing some of that into it. Like for example, like who'd have thought that one of the best musical in the world, in my opinion, would be loads of men just rapping about 1800s
Hamilton.
America. Yeah.
Class.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you think that would work? But it does work,
Yeah, it's
and you're
class.
seeing it more in different bands now. Sort of bringing in. So, for example, I had Spangled on here. Do you know the Spangled Boys?
Yeah, I heard of him. Yeah.
Spangled are brilliant because they don't have a genre. They just do whatever they want, and it works.
Yeah, I like that.
It's odd because you go to a set and it's not a set, it's a show. But it's because that's why I was so interested that you don't like pop punk, because I don't hear theatre in you, because I'm pretty sure Jamie from McKay's, his brother does musical theatre,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure that, so, and you can hear it in his voice because he's very good at projecting, he's very that sort of
I think
He does Dirty Old Town, that's very theatre.
it's very theatre based,
Yeah.
100%.
I think if I take one thing away from doing that when I was younger, it's probably more like the showman side of things.
Yeah.
And I'm quite confident. I don't mind jumping around. I don't feel like out of place. I think more musically though, I think I was like grew up on James Morrison, absolute die-hard fan of James Morrison. I'm obsessed with. I still am.
What,
Ben
West
Howe-
Brom midfielder?
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that. I could have landed very well, very badly.
That's a Barclays man. I've ever heard.
Never heard that one before.
It's a Barclays man. That.
Oh shit! Yeah, like Ben Howard and stuff like that. Like I just loved like he said, like the singer-songwriter stuff, like solo male artists, guitars. Absolutely loved it. I still do. Still like.
Nice.
And then I started getting into bands with like Cortinas and Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds and stuff like that. So I guess it is quite a range, but no, never pop punk.
We've got a range as a band. If we're,
You have
if we're
got
being
a
hon-
huge range.
Like we're saying before, CD Nathan, you're into your heavy stuff, don't you? Like Nathan and they absolutely love it, and it's not my cup of tea. It's not Pom Roy's cup of tea.
Conversely,
really.
on the way here, he's playing stuff from his old DJ sets,
Well, that's what
which
I
you
mean,
wouldn't imagine.
Exactly.
So it started as well. It started quite quiet because Nath was quite tired from his shift yesterday, but I kept turning it up and he was like,
Violins are back out here. What's going on?
but it started out as like
Can I just say, off camera there was a shake of the head.
like glam rock, and then it went metal, and then for the last like third of the journey, it was just like heavy. I don't even know what genre it was. Like,
Can you guess who drove up together in
Yeah,
2 cars?
yeah.
we do live together, so it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, so like,
I like it though. So when you're doing sort of like your Sundays, like sort of your sessions, do you ever sort of bounce different bands or different artists off each other? Do you ever be like, oh, I'll have the Orcs today, I'll play a couple metal songs, see what you think about it, see if we can
metal's not
incorporate.
allowed.
Metal's banned. Get into metal, boys. There's certain bits. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of shit metal, and I'm not a big metal fan, but I'm a big fan of certain bands. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
But even just like the production style of it, like 'cause some of the light shows and stuff. Even if you don't like the music, just watch the shows.
It's the
Put
really
it-
heavy stuff.
Put
though.
it on mute. Put it on mute. Honestly, when you're next there on Sunday, you're having your curry. Put it on mute and just put a Bring Me the Horizon set. They do loads from like Rock and Ring and stuff. Put it on mute.
They're
And
incredible.
just watch it. Just watch his stage
Yeah.
presence and watch
Yeah.
what. And don't get me wrong, bit of screaming, few people elbowing people, but you get past that.
Well, it's funny you should say that because we went to a very impromptu like little metal event in Preston the other day, and the frontman presence of all the bands, to be fair, like, and this is nothing on any frontman outside of their genre, but metal frontmen
Different level.
just do it
just a different level.
There's the only one within this genre that comes anywhere close is it Wonder Horse's frontman? He's quite unique.
They're a bit of a heavier sound though, aren't they?
Yeah,
it sort of fits into that.
Sort of like
well.
blends it, and they just go mental.
Band,
like, I mean, not even looking back to like, you know, Ozzy Osbourne biting the heads off bats and stuff. I'm not saying you need to go that far, but like,
but if you want to, that could be quite fun.
But I'd be well up for it.
I think some of the controversy in the past. But yeah, it's like metal, blues. Like for me, it was like songwriter stuff as well. Like back in the day.
Yeah.
I didn't have any Beatles influence whatsoever because my dad didn't like them as a kid.
Oh, interesting.
So
I mean, don't get me wrong. Everyone likes the Beatles at some point. Everyone likes the songs, but I was never like. People love listening to Beatles albums. I'll never put a Beatles album on.
I'm the same.
Ever.
I'm the same. I know like the hits, like the big hits.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would love to see like Paul McCartney. I'd love to, but I don't know if I've ever listened to an album.
Yeah,
from the
neither.
Beatles.
I'm just a bit like I'm a 4-chord man at heart as well. I love a 4-chord song. I know. I love it.
If I could be one, I'd be one.
Do you know what I hate as well? I hate it when you get... So there's some elements of the indie genre where they badmouth certain bands. And, for example, Ratings. Don't get me wrong, I get what you mean about them being an Arctic Monkeys tribute and fair enough. But they're fucking great.
Class.
It's so good.
Honestly,
and I'm like...
we've said that before. Like people, they talk about like Ratings. They sound similar to what Arctic Monkeys did.
In like 05, 08.
Yeah. And obviously now Alex Turner, you know, could probably open, I don't know, like a jazz bar. He looks like that kind of person. 100%. And he's not the same like uncut, like sort of mental version that he used to be. He's much more refined. But people still crave that sound.
Yeah.
And that's
people,
why they're so good.
People who aren't like really into music, I've always found. So quite like my mates who I kind of like knock around on the North End with and stuff. Outside these lads, they're not like massively like into music. They like what they like, and they like it when they listen to it. So they went to watch Arctic Monkeys, and then obviously Alex Turner was, you know, doing his thing of what he does now is obviously slow stuff and all his new stuff. And they were like, the gig was crap, and I was like, it wasn't. It's just because he's not an 18-year-old lad talking about scrapping bouncers every weekend now. You know, music moves on. People write how they want to write with how they're feeling at 35, 40. He's a 40-year-old bloke now.
You don't have to like the new stuff as well.
He's not 40.
How old
He's got to be in his 40s.
I'm going to Google it.
How old is Alex Turner?
Adjudicator.
Got to be in his 40s.
He's got to be.
No,
late 30s, 40s.
Nah, I reckon he's 30. I reckon he's
His first
30.
album came out in 2001.
I reckon he's 36.
36.
38.
38.
I'm going for like 39, 40.
I'm going 41.
39.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
Do not doubt me.
No, one thing I'd say, we literally had this discussion. I can't remember where we were, but we had this discussion quite recently about the Ratings. Mm-hmm. So, like, again, I think the Ratings is sort of, you take it or leave it, you like them, you don't, fine, whatever.
Fair enough, yeah.
But I was saying, if in terms of like the now, what's going about, and obviously you've got like your Sam Fenders, your Monkeys if they ever came back and did whatever. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like maybe the step down, yeah, you've got like huge bands like the K's and, you know, stuff like even like Corella and that, they're quite really well known on the scene. But if you want a band that's going to go out and sell the Co-op out 5 nights in a night, 5 nights in a night, 5 nights in a row, go to like, you know, do massive venues in London and stuff, it's going to be the Ratings.
The Ratings,
They will sell out wherever they go.
seen
They are a huge band.
I was in town last weekend and they were at, not New Century Hall, another one, Aviva Studios I think it's now called. I've never been to it, it's like brand new.
I've been there.
I was walking through town, so I went to Teppanyaki. Great shout, by the way.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I was just walking through and I was like,
Yeah.
there's a Rating shirt. There's a Rating shirt.
Yeah.
Rating shirt. They're so easily
I
recognisable.
bought one the other day at the Blackpool gig, and it's
Yeah,
like,
love it,
I mean, Red Smoke. Like, we saw him at Kendal. I've never seen a band work the crowd.
Mad,
The only band that I've seen work a crowd better, like an indie band, is Kasabian. Hands down.
You know what?
That's the only one.
That is it.
Ratings, they were playing like a midday. Was it a midday set on a Sunday or something? I can't remember. It might have been after Lancashire Rock Pots, which is an entirely different.
I'm
world.
going seeing them at Stockport Plaza.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So
The bin man.
I'm so excited.
It's so good.
Oh my god! So my missus bought it me as a Christmas present, as like a jokey Christmas present. I opened it. Best Christmas present.
Yeah.
Mate,
Class.
That is
I'm
so-
going to be on egg, sausage, chips, and beans all week.
So I've just moved into my new gaff, right, and like bin day and whatnot, like the notion of tidying up and bin day, no idea. But I will get Katie. Oh, very nice.
Ferrari outside.
I will get. I will get
Welcome to Glossop. This is where I live, everybody. I know that.
my girlfriend, like the night before, she'll be, has there been man, been mom?
Oh, it's
and I'm like,
fantastic.
right, it's been there, easy. Like,
Fantastic.
it's so, they're just,
Chippy tea.
they're all bangers. In fact, they played at...
P&E.
Yeah, well, yeah. They played at a really small venue. What's it called? The boxing venue where your mate was fighting.
In Preston.
What, Riva?
Riva.
Yeah.
They played in there, and we were going to go and see him, but we had...
quite a good venue for us, actually, thinking about it. Well, that's the venue thing we were talking about before.
Yeah, it's not
That'd
bad.
probably
So
be
is that not a strict music
It's
venue?
weird.
Is it like a bit of a
It-
mix?
it
It was a
opened-
bingo hall.
Oh, nice.
Genuinely, it was a bingo hall.
It opened,
Massive bingo
it
hall.
closed, then it reopened. It's directly opposite the bus station as well.
Oh, nice.
But it's very sort of nondescript. And you'd go in and they host like
Oh, that's just made for promo. That you've got a song called 23.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Well,
made
they
it.
do like white collar boxing events, like Muay Thai stuff. Like the school that I used to go to, Muay Thai school, they'd host fights there. They do like jazz nights, bingo, like there's tons
Nice.
of stuff. I'm surprised I haven't tried bongos bingo.
Yeah, they have
frankly.
done bongos bingo there.
Oh right, well there you go.
they
Then.
have.
It's just one of
They do
those
like techno events and all sorts. But
Nice,
It's
it's
like
big,
I bet it's like 1,000 capacity in there standing.
oh, it's in nut.
Is it
Yeah,
1,000? Honestly,
1,000.
I tell you what.
There you go.
honestly-
There you go.
Fire.
Honestly.
Oh, he's in the mud and Have you done some bad
I know.
research? Has that told anyone?
What's he been researching before we've arrived? Like he's got notes written. on his
How
Leading the
do I work in
conversation.
Alex Turner's age into this
Yeah.
conversation?
Oh, it's good knowledge that, fair enough.
Well, it's with people, and you don't have to like every single song by a band or every single
Yeah,
album.
I
You
agree.
don't have to. Like Cortinas now, I've seen them like 12 times. I haven't seen them in the last 3 years because I think the Tuna albums are not me. And it's fine. You can think
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. You don't
yeah.
have to like.
Kitchen is a weird song, but
But
that last album, what was the one?
It's just not me.
Yeah,
I get what they're trying
Solitude
to
and
do.
that,
It's just
No,
not
one
me.
before that. The one that's got
Mapping the Rendezvous.
yeah, Mapping the Rendezvous is a masterpiece. But then after that, it's kind of dropped off a
don't
little
get
bit.
it. It's a bit too technical for me, I think.
But I
don't
also
get
think that even though you don't like the new stuff, it's not like I don't like them
course,
anymore.
yeah,
It's
they're
like
not
you
rubbish.
still
Of course they're not
remember
rubbish.
they've got like
It's a nostalgia, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've always loved
They've
Cortinas.
done what Arctic Monkeys have done.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is just changed
Evolved.
the sound and evolved and gone away from doing the same thing and
Yeah.
the comfortability of the sound. Arctic Monkeys could release an album exactly like the first, and they know it did absolutely smash
yeah.
it.
Well, what's the only here's a better question. Like from that perspective, like you were saying about you don't have to know every song. Mm-hmm. What artist? I mean, the only band that I know every song prior to them like breaking up is Catfish. I know every single song, every lyric. Like you were saying, it was about AM. That's the only album like ages ago.
Blossoms, their first album.
Class.
So like, you know every single song by the artist.
So you can't do because
Probably
Is
not-
there
probably
anyone
not-
that you can think of?
Probably not second.
K's just because they're new.
I genuinely reckon
Do we
I could do
count?
every Cortinas song and album.
I agree. Like James Morrison, you definitely
couldn't
could.
do Cortinas every single one. The K's I could do.
Yeah.
Couldn't even do Kasabian, you know.
Yeah, but Kasabian have got loads of like random songs, haven't they? Like,
Some of their B-sides from early in the day.
Well,
you're
whenever
like,
we're
what?
driving anywhere, we always play Wavelength, and
Okay.
and it's like you'll have, for example, like Nath will go James Morrison songs that are rated 9 out of 10. He could give you some obscure song from like the third album, B side, whatever. It's like you'd have no idea who it was.
Respect.
And that is you could probably like
well, you went to watch Kasabian, didn't you?
figure out
Co-op? When he started doing that like weird techno set in the middle, he went
Fantastic.
up on that cherry picker in the middle of the thing.
I love Kasabian.
It's unbelievable.
I just think Sergi's
Yeah.
their best front
What
man
do you
around.
think?
I agree. I
post
think
Mayan.
he is class.
do you prefer pre or post Tom Mayan
So,
or frontman Surge?
I love Happenings. I think it's arguably one of the strongest albums they've done.
I think Tom Mayan's new stuff's brilliant as well. To be fair,
See, I don't listen to him. We won't get into that for them reasons. But
well, music, but
yeah,
like,
musically,
it pops on
I
Spotify. DJ thing.
It's just more of a case of But then again, they've got some shit that I won't listen to, and it's not shit, but I don't like it. It's not for me. So I just love it how Serge is just. Do you know like when you get a big ball of just like goo? I feel like that's his brain where he just has random things just coming out of everywhere.
Yeah.
And I love him for it because he's just unapologetically himself.
The fact that
Yeah.
he looks
Yeah.
like a Mighty Boosh character is enough.
He's brilliant as well.
Isn't he?
Yeah,
But do you know
yeah.
what I was thinking about the other day? So Kasabian, after Tom Mayan left, is the same as
lads.
Bring Me after Elliot Fish left. They both went poppy.
Spot on. You spot on with that as well. This is
missed
that's a bit niche for them as well.
So like
But,
Neonex Genesis, their new album, it's much more pop punk than it was before.
But it works as well. Like, you don't have to. Like, I went to that gig because I love Kasabian's new album. I think Happenings is brilliant, and I wanted to hear them new songs.
I'm a fan of it. Yeah.
I've not even listened to it.
But the album before that, the other one which had all the weird like alligator and shit.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, I don't really understand what I don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm more than happy to not like that album. Still go and see it.
I mean, to please everyone every time is asking a lot.
It's
and also,
impossible,
you got to look. I mean, look at like Noel Gallagher. His first solo stuff, obviously Oasis as well, but his first solo stuff is so different to his newer albums.
It's all incredible though.
It's so different, but yet sounds amazing still. So it's like you can be different and make it work. You can be different, not make it work. It doesn't really change people's views of the artist. I don't think it should anyway.
Well, I think what's really good, we get that. So you get like, you get some people absolutely love. There's one of our tunes called Changes, which is a bit slower, brilliant track, but it's not in the pipeline for a little while. I don't think anyway. I'm looking sideways at you. I don't know. But Changes, very, very different sound to Lost Control. Some people, that's their favourite. And some people, that's their favourite. And then our sound is pretty much like in the middle of that.
Yeah, it's like a Venn diagram. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's what you want. So what are the plans for? We've slightly alluded to your plans for sort of 2025 moving forward as well. So obviously we spoke about the new single. Have we got any gigs booked in? Apart from Preston, obviously. Which,
There's tons of them.
Sorry, people, you can't come to anymore. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we are absolutely everywhere. Like genuinely here, there, and everywhere. We've got pretty much all like the major cities: Newcastle, Leeds, Sheffield, London, all coming up. In terms of headlines as well, we've got them booked in, ready to go. Won't say too much.
Do we know
give it away
roughly
too
when you're
much.
going to be announcing them? Is it going to be sort of in the next couple of months? Is it going to be?
We'll probably play our Preston headline.
Yeah.
That's the first one, and then we'll look at announcing.
Nice.
Use that momentum to sort of.
Do we have
push the
any
next ones.
inkling of any cities, or are we going to be very niche?
They're in the northwest.
Spoke a
In the
lot about-
northwest.
We're looking over there because it's like,
Manchester
I like how
can
we
we
got
say?
HR sat in the corner.
I am like, what's his name? The Spider-Man bloke who just reveals
Tom
all
Holland.
secrets. Tom Holland. I. This is why I don't talk in this. Because I won't tell.
They're in, yeah, they're,
Mute.
they're in the northwest. They're in the northwest.
Nice. Please come to Manchester. I kind of want to
I'm
come.
not saying you're not doing anything for me. I'm
So
just like,
if you want to come to Manchester, please do, and I will be. Fantastic. 100%. So where can we find you on your socials? Is it Tuesday Night Lights and everything? Are you
TNW official Instagram.
Whoa.
quick.
we were trying to log in before actually. I can't find the password.
Tuesday Night Whites. Is it TNW official on TikTok?
I think
it's
I'm
TNW
pretty
official.
sure. I'm fairly confident if you type in Tuesday Night Whites, it'll hopefully come up.
It's all on Linktree anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to on Instagram, everything's in our link.
Well, the link tree will be in the description as well. If you're watching on YouTube and you have enjoyed the lads, go and check them out. Show them a bit of support. Stream the new songs as well. My personal favourite is 23. I think it's a great hook.
Nice one.
If this is first time watching the Offbeat Podcast channel, please do give us a like on the video. Do subscribe. Let me know what bands you want to see on there. Any bands that I should be looking out for?
Corella, get them on.
I
Get
want
Joel on.
Corella.
I will be tuning in.
I want Corella, 100%. And if you are on Spotify, give a 5-star review. Make sure you go and follow these guys. Pre-save the new single when it is out. Wait for that on socials. And we shall see you in the next episode. Thank you, boys.
Nice one. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.